welcome back to my channel. This is my second video now. I hope you enjoyed the first one. And I'm going to tell you about how this all became. There's more to what I said in the video, my previous video, about ordering the lingerie. This actually goes back to my teen years. So I think I'm going to sit down and tell you the story. But for now, I will show you what I'm wearing. So today, I'm wearing a skirt with a bodysuit and a pink tank top. I said to you in my previous video that I really like pink. Well, as you can tell, I do really like pink. So I have the pink belt, the pink body, the pink tank top, a bodysuit with a low V on it, and because I don't have real boobs, and you know that I don't have real boobs, I put a tank top so that you can't see my fake boobs. Anyways, so I'm wearing ankle bracelet, and I have all my jewelry on. I love jewelry, as you can tell. I have my bracelet, pretty blingy bracelet. I have my glittery shoes, and I have an ankle bracelet on. I have all my rings. And as you can tell, I love painting my nails. My wife actually paid for this. It was for my trip. But that was 5 weeks ago now. Anyways, this is what I decided on. And I have my toenails painted. There they are. And there's my shoes. I enjoy dressing up. I used to dress up like this, like at my old job at night. Because my old job used to take me out of town, and I would dress up like this. So, anyways, so let's go have a seat, and I'll tell you more about how I became a bigender. Well, I'm all comfy now. So, to tell you about how I became Charlize. So, I didn't really know anything until I was about 15 or 16 years old. And one day, I decided to try on my mom's underwear. And I started to wear them to school. she didn't know about it. And at that time I knew that there was something different about me. And one thing that I had been noticing back then was I didn't fit into the boy box. And I always wanted to have female friends. And I just knew that there was something different about me. So I started to wear my mom's underwear. And then I started to wear her jeans because at that time, and even today, we're both the same size. I wore her jeans for several years, and she had no idea. So eventually I moved out of my mom's house, and I stopped wearing the women's clothes. I wore some of her tops, I wore her nylons, I even wore her shoes. She doesn't know a lot about what I did back then. She just knows that I would wear her, that I wore her underwear and her pants, her jeans. But I wore other things too. So, after I moved out, I had no way to put on women's clothes. And I was too afraid to go into a store and buy women's clothes for myself. So, I stopped dressing up. When I was about 21 years old, I rented a room in a house in Vancouver. And the guy that lived downstairs, his name was Al, and he was a really cool guy. And he had a roommate who was an older gentleman. Anyways, they lived downstairs, and I lived in a room upstairs. So, after about a week, I found out that Al actually cross-dressed. And I was envious of him, because he would get dressed up on the weekends and he would go out to clubs and everything, and I wanted to do that. But again, I was too chicken, and I never told him about myself. Anyways, I ended up moving out of there, and I moved to Calgary, Alberta, where I met some people, some friends, and again, I searched for female friends, not male friends, because I was never in that boy box. I was never in that man box. You know, I wasn't big, I wasn't strong, I didn't have big muscles. I just was tiny. And I got picked on a lot because of my size. Anyway, so because I was afraid to fit into the boys' box, because I didn't want to get picked on again. So I looked for female friends. And I ended up getting into a relationship with a woman. And we ended up getting married and having 2 wonderful children. And the idea of cross-dressing completely vanished. For a while. But all my life I always said to myself, I wish I was a woman. So as life went on, my wife and I ended up moving from Calgary to Saskatoon, and I lived in Saskatoon. And the only person that I really hung around with was her. And we met our neighbor. We lived in Dalmany after a while. And we met our neighbors and we became friends with them. And then my wife wanted to move back to Edmonton. And I found out that she was basically having an affair on me. So we ended up getting divorced. And I started to go on the internet. And again, I just looked for female friends. I had no real interest in being friends with men. I ended up going on the internet and found quite a few female friends, went to lots of chat parties and stuff like that. And then I met a lady in New Haven, Michigan. And I moved to Sarnia, Ontario for a while. And still the interest, I still wanted to be a woman, but I knew that I wanted to be with a woman. So we stayed together for a couple of years, and we ended up breaking up because of her personal problems, which I'm not going to go into. They're her personal problems. It had nothing to do with our relationship. Anyways, so after that I moved back to Calgary. And again, I just looked for women friends. Didn't want any male friends, didn't want to hang around with any men or anything. And I'm not a man hater. I just not interested in associating with them. Because all my life, I never fit into the mailbox. I always got picked on, made fun of. So, after that, I met another woman. We had a child together, and we stayed together for 10 years. And we ended up splitting up because of me. I was the problem. And then I met my current wife. And 6 years ago, I started to have problems with I'm going to use the word plumbing. And one day when I was at work, I decided that I'm going to buy some lingerie to see if, maybe wearing it would turn me on and stuff like that. I shaved downstairs, and so I ordered the lingerie from Pink Cherry, and it was coming back it was going to be delivered by UPS on January 1st. So, in the morning of January 1st, I told my wife that I had ordered the stuff because she knew that I was having problems with my plumbing and that we weren't and she was shocked, but we sat down and we talked about everything, and I told her about my past and how there's a lot of times that I would just think and wish that I was a woman, and I told her about what I did back when I was 16, 15, 16, 17 years old. And when I put on the lingerie, something got triggered inside me. And at that point in time, I realized that I am really different. So I started looking into cross-dressing and drag queens and transgender and all of that kind of stuff. And joined a Crossdressing Heaven. It's a chat group, or it's a support group for cross-dressers and transgender. And I talk to people on there about things, and it was a really difficult time to go through to try to figure out who and what I was. And I started to buy women's clothes, jeans and t-shirts and stuff like that, things that I could wear in public without look at me, I'm a crossdresser. So my wife and I have had many discussions. There's been some good times and some upsetting times about it, but we're still getting through it. We had a good talk about it last night again. So now I dress up like this when my wife's not home. I don't always put makeup on, but I will put on a dress or a skirt or when she's not home. Now that I'm retired, I can do it more. I can do it all day long. My job, I could only do it at night. Because like I said, I worked out on the road, so I had to present as a male at work and to our customers. But at night I would put makeup on, and I would get dressed up and wear clothes like I'm wearing right now, and be myself. So that's pretty well my story of how I became a bigender. So I think that's about it for today. I'll make another video tomorrow or the next day. Oh, this is my kitty. This is Leia. That's my Princess Leia. She's such a nice kitty. She doesn't know what to make of me when I dress up like this. So that's about it for now. I hope you enjoyed my story about how I became like this, how I became a bigender. And I hope you will watch more of my videos. I'm still nervous about going out in public like this, but one day maybe I will. If anything ever happened to my wife. I don't know what I would do. She's my support. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll chat with you in the next video. Hit the like, hit subscribe, send me some comments, tell me what you think about my outfit today, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.